Good morning, children. Hope everyone is fine. Today we are going to continue with the story of River Ganga in our English class. Do you remember what we have done in our previous class? It is a very interesting story from Hindu mythology, and this little boy Ishan wants to know the story of Ganga from his grandmother, and the grandmother narrates the story of river Ganga. We have already seen how King Sagar had two wives. What were the names of the two wives? Kesini and Sumati. Now Kesini had one son, Asmanjas. He was a cruel person, and so the people did not like him. Asmanjas had one son, Anshuman, who was kind and brave. The second wife, Sumati, had 60,000 sons, and all were very proud and not liked by the people. Now, King Sagar wanted to tell the people how far the boundary of his kingdom was and who was the king. So he decided to do the Ashwamedh Yagya. Now, Ashwamedh Yagya, or the horse sacrifice, means you have to free a horse, let the horse trot anywhere it likes, and behind them there are some soldiers. Behind the horse there are some soldiers, and if someone stops the horse, that means he has challenged the authority of the king and he has to fight with the king's soldiers. And if you let the horse cross the kingdom, then that king, it means, has accepted the authority of this king, and then the king finds it necessary to protect this king who has accepted his authority, and so he gets the king's protection. Now, this king decided to do the Ashwamedh Yagya, and the Ashwamedh Yagya started. But the gods were not very happy with the 60,000 sons of King Sagar. So, what they decided was to do something, of course, very secretly. Indra, the king of gods, came down, and he didn't come down as Indra. He disguised himself as a demon. He came and stole the horse of the Ashwamedh Yagya and hid it. Now, if the horse is stolen, the yagya cannot get completed, or you cannot complete the yagya. So King Sagar sent his 60,000 sons to find the horse. They went here and there looking for the horse, and finally, you remember, where did they find the horse? They found it near a holy man, a wise man, Kapil Muni. He was deep in meditation, and the horse kept on standing there. The horse stood there. Now, the 60,000 sons of King Sagar did not know that Kapil Muni was a sage or a sadhu, and they thought he was a thief. So they started shouting at him, abusing him, and saying that he was a thief. He was disturbed in his meditations, so he opened his eyes. As soon as he opened his eyes and glared at them, looked at them angrily, the 60,000 suns turned into ashes, and you could see 60,000 small heaps of ashes near this Muni. Now Ishan became very interested what happened and how this story is related to River Ganga, because he wanted to know the story of River Ganga, and he thought grandmother was telling him some other story. So now grandmother continues, and we are also going to continue reading the story. Well, when King Sagar did not hear from his many sons, he was worried. Now King Sagar's son, 60,000 sons, did not come back. So he was very worried and there was no news from them. He sent his grandson Anshuman to find out. So now he sent his son Anshuman to find out what was wrong. Anshuman, being brave, finally found the horse. Anshuman, as we have been told earlier, he was brave and he was good, so he found the horse. But he was very puzzled by the 60,000 heaps of ashes. He could not understand what those 60,000 small heaps of ashes were. Then the king of birds. Now, what is the name of the king of birds? Garuda told Anshuman to take away the horse to finish the yajna. So he met Garud, who is considered to be the king of birds, and he told Anshuman that you take the horse and complete the yajna. He also told Anshuman about what happened to his uncles. He also told the story how his 60,000 uncles became heaps of ashes. And hearing this, Anshuman was very upset and he asked Garud what he could do about it. What could be done for his uncles who had now become heaps of ashes. Because Anshuman really wanted to do something for his uncles, Garud told Anshuman that to send the souls of his uncles to heaven, their ashes must be washed in the Ganga. So if Anshuman, Garud told Anshuman that if Anshuman wants to send the souls of his uncles to heaven, the ashes must be put in the river Ganga or washed in the river Ganga. But Ganga at that time was only in heaven and it had to be brought down to the earth first because it was only in the heaven. The ashes could not be put there and they could go to heaven only after the ashes were put in the river Ganga. So it was a very, very difficult situation. So for that, the river had to be brought down to the earth. The yajna was finished. That means the yajna, the Ashwamedh yajna got over, but neither King Sagar or nor King Anshuman or King Dilip, who became the next kings, could find a way to bring the Ganga down. King Sagar could not find a way to bring Ganga down from heaven. After King Sagar, his grandson Anshuman became the king. He also was not able to bring the Ganga down to the earth. And then his son, King Dilip, became the king. He also was unable to bring the Ganga down. Then what happened, grandmother? Asked Ishan. Now Ishan was even more interested and curious to know that what happened after this. So after King Dilip, the next king Bhagirath was a brave king. After King Dilip, King Bhagirath succeeded. He was a brave king. But King Bhagirath had no son who could become the next king. Usually the son succeeds the father to the throne, the eldest son. So King Bhagirath was worried that he had no son and so who would become the next king? And he was also troubled by the unfinished task of the ashes. Now 60,000 heaps of ashes were lying all around. So he was also troubled. He was worried about those also, that this thing, nothing has been done. This thing, how to make some arrangement to bring Ganga down so that these ancestors could go to heaven. He left his kingdom to his ministers. So he decided that he'll leave his kingdom to his ministers to go to the Himalayas to pray and do penance. So he went to the Himalayas to pray and to do penance. According to the Word Bank, penance means a religious act one performs to ask for forgiveness from God. One performs some religious acts to ask for forgiveness from God or to ask for something. Now, in Hindi, we call it tapasya. So, he went to do penance. Brahma was very pleased by Bhagirath's devotion. So, Lord Brahma was very pleased with Bhagirath's devotion or his penance, and upon hearing his troubles, Brahma granted him both the wishes. So, Bhagirath told his story, told what was troubling him, what were his problems, and so Brahma granted him both the wishes. But he added, what were both the wishes? One, he did not have a son who would succeed, so he would get a son. And second, he would be able to bring down Ganga to the earth so that ashes could be put in the Ganga and his ancestors could go to the heaven and attain salvation. But he added that the earth was not strong enough to bear the flow of the Ganga. Now, Ganga was a river which was there in the heaven, a heavenly river, a holy river. And so Brahma said that the earth was not strong enough to bear the flow of the Ganga. It would come down with a lot of force, which the earth would not be able to bear. So Bhagirath must ask for help from Shiva. So Brahma told Bhagirath that you ask Lord Shiv to help you. The grandmother continued. Then Bhagirath went and prayed to Shiv. Shiv was very pleased by his prayers and his penance. He promised to help Bhagirath. So he said that he was going to help Bhagirath. However, Ganga was very proud as she was the favorite of the gods. Now, the river Ganga was very proud because she was the favorite of the gods, and she felt very proud because of this. She thought that she would sweep away even Shiva by her force. In her pride, because she was so proud, she thought that she would sweep away even Lord Shiv by her force. Ganga, with all her force, fell on Shiva's head. Now Ganga came down with her full force and fell on Shiva's head. Shiva knew of Ganga's pride. Now Lord Shiva was already aware of Ganga's pride. To teach Ganga a lesson, Shiva stopped her flow by his matted hair. Matted hair, you see pictures of Lord Shiva. He has a thick mass of hair on his head. So Lord Shiv knew the pride of Ganga, that she was very proud, and he also wanted to teach a lesson to Ganga. So he stopped the force of the river by his matted hair, that is, using his matted hair. Coming towards the end of the story, the grandmother said, now she said the story is coming to an end, it is about to end. Bhagirath was troubled and he started praying once again. Now again Bhagirath was troubled and so he started praying once again. Pleased, Shiva allowed the Ganga to flow gently. Now because Shiva had stopped the Ganga in his matted hair, the river Ganga could not reach the earth. So again, how could Bhagirath achieve his goal? He wanted to immerse the ashes of his ancestors in the river Ganga if it came down to earth. So he again prayed to Lord Shiva and requested him to allow Ganga to flow gently to the earth. Now Shiva then gave permission to Ganga to flow gently, not with the force, the very heavy force she had come from heaven. The waters of the Ganga were divided into 7 streams. 3 flowed to east and 3 to west. Now, because it was with such a big force that it had come, they decided that the Ganga would be divided into 7 streams. 3 would flow to the east, 3 would flow to the west. One stream followed the chariot of Bhagirath. One stream followed the chariot of King Bhagirath. The stream that followed Bhagirath was so beautiful that all the gods assembled to see it. So three went to the east, three went to the west, one which was left followed King Bhagirath's chariot. And it was so beautiful that all the gods gathered together, assembled means gathered to see the beautiful river which had come down from heaven. Bhagirath then performed the holy rites for his 60,000 ancestors. Now, because Ganga had come to the earth, Bhagirath was able to perform the religious ceremonies which were supposed to be performed for the salvation of his 60,000 ancestors. And finally, after so long, the souls of the 60,000 sons of King Sagar could go to heaven. Ishan was delighted to hear this story. Delighted Ishan said aloud, "So, because the Ganga came down from heaven, it is believed to be holy." So he repeated what grandmother had told him, that because Ganga had come down from heaven, it is considered to be a holy river. But Ishan still looked puzzled. He still was confused, he was puzzled, and he asked his grandmother a very important question for all of us. Please pay attention. If the Ganga is holy, then why do people make it so polluted? So he said Ganga is considered to be a holy river. People pray to it, people worship on its banks. Then why do people pollute it? Should it not be kept clean? If you pray to someone, you respect someone, it has to be kept clean and nothing should pollute it. But why on one hand they are praying and on the other hand they are polluting? Smiling a little, grandmother said. Now, grandmother gave a little smile and she said, "Ishan, that is a very good question. Why don't you ask this question to your classmates and find out?" So, grandmother did not answer this one. She wanted Ishan to go to his classmates and ask this question and find out why people pray and worship River Ganga and on the other hand pollute it. Wasn't it a very, very interesting story from our mythology with lots of names we already know, like Shiva, Brahma, Ganga, and there are names which we may be hearing or reading for the first time, like King Sagar, Anshuman, Asmanjas, Kesini, Sumati, Bhagirath. So, what we are supposed to do is please remember all the names and try to find out the meanings of the words you don't understand and which are not given in the word bank. And if they are given in the word bank, please try to learn those meanings. Now, after we have finished the lesson, let us go to exercise A1, that is, complete the following in your own words. You have to complete these. Incomplete sentences are given and you have to complete these in your own words. The first one, the Ganga is a holy river because this we have read. You should be able to complete it. Yes, those who were able to complete it, I am sure have been listening to this story with a lot of attention. The Ganga is a holy river because it was brought down to the earth from heaven. You could write it in different words. It was in heaven and it was brought down from heaven to earth. Please write it and complete it in the book only just now with a pencil. Now the second one. People release the ashes of the dead in the river Ganga so that Why do people release ashes of their dead kin or their dead relatives in the river Ganga? So that their souls may find salvation, or so that the dead relatives may attain salvation. So, salvation means no trouble will come to them if they get salvation, no trouble will come to them, or no harm will come to them after death. Third, now on page number 26. King Sagar performed the Ashwamedh Yagya because. Why did King Sagar perform the Ashwamedh Yagya? You'll find the answer on page 23 and 24. You just come to the last two lines of page 23, it is there. Because he wanted to establish the boundary of his empire and tell people who was the king of the land so that they would not be confused. You can change the words and write it on your own. Fourth one, in the Ashwamedh Yagya, a horse. Now, what do we do in the Ashwamedh Yagya? Again, you can find the answer on page 24, and you have to change it and then write, in the Ashwamedh Yagya, a good horse is selected and it is allowed or it is left to trot wherever he wants to go, and it trots and trots and trots. But if someone stops the horse, it means they are challenging the king's authority and a fight would start. But anyone who would let the horse pass would be protected by the king. So, Ashwamedh Yagya, you let a horse roam freely here and there from one kingdom to the other kingdom. Any king who stops it has to fight with the king who's performing the Ashwamedh Yagya, and the king who doesn't stop and lets the horse pass would be protected by the king. Fifth one, the difference between the 60,000 sons of King Sagar and the grandson Anshuman was. Now, the difference between 60,000 sons of King Sagar and the grandson Anshuman was their nature. What was the difference? The 60,000 sons were cruel and proud and were not liked by the people, but Anshuman was good and brave and was liked by the people. So, what is the difference? 60,000 sons were cruel and proud and not liked by the people, while Anshuman, the grandson, was brave and good and kind and was liked by the people. Sixth, all the sons of King Sagar were disliked by the people. Now, if you are cruel, if you are proud, will anyone like you? No. It is natural. No one is going to like you. So, all the sons of King Sagar were disliked by the people because they were cruel and proud and unkind. Now, A2 we have to do, that is, answer these questions. Why were the gods not happy with with the sons of King Sagar? Why were the gods not happy with the sons of the King Sagar? The gods were not happy with the sons of the King Sagar because why? Why were they not happy? The gods were unhappy with the sons of King Sagar because they were cruel and people suffered because of their cruelty. Because they were cruel and proud and people suffered a lot because of their cruelty. Second one, what solution did the gods find to their problem with the sons of Sagar? Now the gods found that the cruelty And the pride of the sons of King Sagar was going and creating a lot of trouble. They were troubling the people, they were disliked by the people. So these people must be removed from here, or the gods thought they must die. Now the answer, the god's solution to the problem of Sagar's son was to lead them to their death. They did not come directly and kill them. They tried to create a situation so that they would die ultimately. So it was to lead them to their death and not to kill them. So now the answer, the God's solution to the problem of Sagar's sons was to lead them to their death. Now, third one. Why did King Bhagirath choose to do penance? Now, what was the reason for King Bhagirath to do the penance? There are two things mentioned in your book. You can find the answer. This is a ready-made answer on page 25. He had no son, so he was worried who could become the next king, and he was also troubled by the unfinished task of the ashes of his ancestors. How to get salvation for them. Now, the fourth one. Why and how did Shiva stop the Ganga from flowing down to the earth? Now, there are why and how, two parts of this question. Why Shiva stopped Ganga from flowing to the earth with full force, and how he stopped. Why and how did Shiva stop the Ganga from flowing to the earth? First, Ganga was very proud. And why she was very proud? Because she was the favorite of the gods. She flowed to the earth with all her might, with full force, and that was very difficult for the earth to bear. The earth would not have been able to bear the force of Ganga. So then Shiva decided to stop the Ganga from flowing to the earth with full force. And how did he stop? Shiva stopped her with his matted hair. Shiva stopped her with his matted hair, and then it was divided into seven streams. Three went to the east, three were flowed to the west, and one followed King Bhagirath. Tomorrow we are going to do the remaining exercises. Today's homework I'm going to put in ERP prep. So please complete your prep and be ready with your notebooks and your real English book for tomorrow's class. Thank you, children. Take care.